Hi, my name is Beth Andrew, and I'm a licensed independent social worker who has been practicing in the field for over 25 years. Today, I would like to share with you a concept that I have seen to work very effectively in strengthening relationships. And by relationships, I mean all kinds of relationships: parenting, spousal, partner, even with your extended family, your parents. It is called the emotional bank account. This was a metaphor that was created by Stephen Covey, and you may have already heard about it. It's out there you can do a Google search and find all kinds of information about this. But I have used it in multiple situations with multiple different types of folks, and they have found success in it, and they have come back and said, wow, this really did work. I'm sure if you're a parent that you have concerns from time to time about your child not wanting to do something you've asked them to do, or being defiant, or even ignoring you. This works. This helps you to build that relationship. It helps you to build trust within your relationship. It's based on basically the metaphor for a bank account. We all know when we have a bank account, we like to deposit a lot of money into our bank account. We make withdrawals from our bank account, but we like to make those withdrawals on an infrequent basis and just for things that we need to make withdrawals for. We want to increase our deposits and limit our withdrawals to the point where we have a nice healthy balance with more deposits than withdrawals. So keeping that in mind, thinking about it from an emotional perspective, how can you make deposits into someone else's emotional bank account? How can they make deposits into your emotional bank account? There are several things that you need to keep in mind as you do this. You need to actually listen and work on trying to build the relationship with whoever you're wanting to build the relationship with. You need to be there with them. You need to be authentic. You need to hear things from their perspective, and you need to take the time to listen. You also need to think about the little things. Little things, by little things, I mean things that sometimes we ignore, and those are the things that sometimes can bring a relationship down. If we forget to say thank you, or if we forget to apologize, or if we take something for granted that someone else has done for us, those are the little things that I'm talking about. Those are the things that can potentially damage a relationship. We want to make sure that we're attending to those things and we're not letting them bring our relationships down. We also want to keep our promises and our commitments. We want to make sure that if we say we're going to do something, that we're going to do it. And if we're unable to do it for whatever reason, we need to talk about that, and we need to be clear. We need to say what happened. We need to apologize. We also need to clarify our expectations. If someone doesn't know what is expected of them in the relationship, or what's expected of them in earning privileges, for say, like a child, then it is very hard for them to be able to even work towards meeting those expectations. We shouldn't have surprises. People should know what we expect, and we should also know what to expect from other people. We also need to think about and always use our personal integrity. We need to tell the truth. We need to be transparent. We need to do what we say and say what we do. Use your integrity in thinking about how you would want someone else to treat you in a relationship. Finally, and I've already mentioned this, we need to apologize when we've done something wrong. There's nothing stronger and something that builds a relationship more than being able to say, wow, I messed up and I feel bad about that, and I want to make that up to you. Don't make excuses in your apology. Don't try and justify your apology. Simply say, I'm sorry, and I want to make this up to you. And then you work on making it up to them. And you can imagine the opposite of everything that I just talked about. Those are the withdrawals that you want to avoid. You want to make sure that you aren't telling dishonest. You aren't being dishonest. You're not breaking promises. You're not ignoring. You're not listening. You want to make sure that you are always paying attention to what is going on around you and what other people need. So when I introduce this concept to most people, they're like, wow, okay, that sounds fairly simple. Those are things that I want to have happen in my life. So how do I do that? And how do I start being able to make deposits into whoever's emotional bank account, my son, my daughter, my spouse, my partner, my mom, my dad, whoever it is that you want to make those deposits in? How do I do that? First and foremost, the number one thing is to listen and to get to know that person. Figure out what is important to them. And I'm going to bet that you already know multiple things that are important to those that are in your life. Those are the things that you can attend to, and those are ways you can make deposits. For example, a movie. A lot of people like different kinds of movies. If you sit down and let your child pick out the movie and watch that movie with them and have fun, that's a deposit. Going for a walk with your spouse who loves to go for walks and you normally don't like to go for walks, but you go with them, you spend that time with them. You can do a meal together. You can spend time doing something that they love to do because you want people to do that same thing for you. So one thing that I do want to point out, and I think that this quote kind of sums everything all up about what the emotional bank account means, and it's a quote by Amy Reese Anderson. A person who feels appreciated will always do more than expected. So if I take the time to appreciate the special things about you, even the ordinary things about you, I take time to listen, I take time to attend to what is important to you, I keep my promises to you, I set clear expectations, you know what to expect from me, and I apologize when I mess up, then you're going to feel appreciated and you're going to want to continue to build that trust and that relationship with me as well. And I think that that is what we want as humans. We want people to do things with us and for us because they value that relationship, not because they feel like they have to or they need to, but because, hey, you know what? I think they really care about me and they love me and they want what is best for me. So therefore, guess what? When they ask me to do the dishes, I'm going to do the dishes. When they tell me that I need to be home by 10 o'clock, I'm going to be home by 10 o'clock. When we talk about sharing household responsibilities, they're going to want to do that because guess what? They already know that you care. They know that you value that relationship with them, and they're continuing to build that trust. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I hope that you have enjoyed my little short presentation on emotional bank account. I look forward to talking with you again.